Today is commitment weekend for our special needs appeal. There'll be coffee and rolls served over in the cafeteria, and you can go into the gym and meet with some of the campaign workers, the appeal workers, and give your gift or make a statement of how much you wish to give to it. You can do that privately, you can fill out the form quietly or whatever, and take care of that this weekend. This would save a lot of visiting because we plan on making visits to everybody in the parish. If this weekend does not find a time for you to make that commitment, or if you're not here. As you know, this was an opportunity for us to accomplish 4 goals within our parish. Physical goals that we can measure when we actually get there, which is a new roof on the grade school, a new heating and air conditioning here in church, the new snow removal equipment, which is a nice thought right now, isn't it? And then the third last thing is to pay for the new windows that will be coming into the church eventually. You know, the Holy Spirit is at work in the church all the time. The Holy Spirit works in strange and mysterious ways, and it's our job basically to discern where that Spirit is leading us. That is in 2 ways, as a community and as individuals. When I was in seminary, I took a course called Discernment of Spirits, and it opened my eyes to the understanding of how one discerns the movement of the Holy Spirit in one's life. And basically, the word peace is instrumental in understanding how that Holy Spirit is leading us and helping us make good decisions in our lives. Say, for instance, you're dating this girl and you're thinking about maybe this is the right one that I should propose to. And you bring her to prayer. And in prayer, the Lord not only reminds you of all those good times that you have together, but also deep down in your heart, He produces a kind of peace that the world cannot give. That doesn't just happen as a result of some accident. But it's a peace that kind of like we give the common sense understanding to as a gut level instinct. An understanding down deep inside that says, yes, this is right. This is the direction that my life needs to go. This is God's will. And that's what discernment is all about. If you go to God and trying to pray over a decision and just don't feel at peace with it, or you're just kind of agitated inside, you can interpret that as being not the gift of the Holy Spirit, but the gift of a different spirit. The spirit of evil, or the spirit of Satan, is the spirit that tries to agitate us and make us nervous inside. And so when we're able to be quiet, and that's why quiet is so important when it comes to understanding this, quiet of prayer, is that we go to the Lord in that quiet and listen to our hearts and see what our hearts are saying. If our hearts are just not quite at peace, then you can probably interpret that as being, wait, think about this a little bit. You probably have the same kind of thing, you can have the same kind of things in practical parts of your life as well. You're trying to make a decision whether you should move ahead with this particular purchase. It's a large purchase that would put your family in debt for a while. And you're really kind of agitated by it. You just don't know if it's the right thing. Just kind of like, it's not just a kind of fear of the future, but it's also like, I just don't know if this is something I should do. I think we're good the way we are. You know, you can interpret that as being perhaps the gift of the Holy Spirit in your heart, really kind of telling you this is the direction to go or not to go. So discernment is something that happens, as I say, individually, but also as a community. In a community, we come together over particular projects or different movements in the church, and over a period of time, after looking at them and looking at all aspects of it and listening to all those people who are experts in this area, we come to the conclusion this is the right time, this is when we need to do this. Some of it's practical stuff, you know, it's like, okay, you've got to make a move here because it's broken. Or it's very simple things like maybe a change in a program in a parish, when one looks at that. Sometimes that's the leadership of the pastor moving in that direction, his discernment of where the Spirit is asking the parish community to go. And so he leads in a certain direction in that way to try to renew the parish and bring that Holy Spirit more and more into people's lives. We can make a lot of comparisons, perhaps, to Pentecost today, you know? Actually, the word Pentecost means HVAC. You know that? Pentecost means HVAC. Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Notice the air conditioning part of it. It was a wind that came from the sky. And everybody knows that when you go up high, there's cool air. Okay, so when the Holy Spirit came, there was this cool wind that came. But there was also heat, because you know that there were tons of flame that appeared above each of them. So each of them had their own individual controls for the heating and air conditioning. What do you think? Is the analogy limp a bit? Anyway, I think today we're not getting enough air from up high. I think it's kind of stuck down here below, and so consequently, as you know, the heating and air conditioning is in the process of being installed. And so we'll have this weekend and next weekend as a church without air conditioning. Now that is not an invitation for you to go to Fordyce or Menominee or somewhere else where they have air conditioning. I don't even know if it happened in Menominee. But anyway, when I left here 25 years ago from Wynot St. James and went to Elgin, it was a little bit like going back in time, because Elgin did not have air conditioning in their church. And I have a lot of stories about wasps and open windows as a result of having been there. They already had the bats. The wasps are invited in the summertime with the open doors. And I hate wasps. I can see them coming. I could see a wasp in the baptistry area. And this happened in Elgin one time. I saw him coming right down the center aisle, all the way up. And he took a little turn and he landed right here on this microphone. This is a true story. I let him have the microphone. I moved to a different part of the sanctuary. Heating and air conditioning is a good. The Holy Spirit is the soul of the church and continues to renew it in every single age. And we can look at history and see how that Holy Spirit has worked throughout the history of the church. We're still here. This community of faith continues to exist, continues to spread the news, continues to share it with our children. We continue to work hard to do that through our different programs in our schools. We do it for our adults too, because that Holy Spirit is not finished with us. As adults, we need to renew our faith. We can't depend upon an 8th grade religion in order to sustain us as adults. We have to be renewed. And Christians Encounter Christ is an example of that renewal. A parish mission is an example of that renewal. This coming weekend, as we do our Corpus Christi procession, participate in that as a kind of renewal of your faith in your heart. So that Holy Spirit's always working, giving us opportunities to do that. Just like anything, we can decide to stay home and not do anything, and stay a bump on the log when it comes to our faith. But if these apostles in the early church, when they got that Holy Spirit, were as gutsy enough to do what they did and to bring hundreds and hundreds of people into the church almost on the same day, we ought to be able to open our hearts to that Spirit in us. Because in our world today, there are a lot of people that really need to come to know Jesus. So I share with you just a little couple thoughts anyway about discernment in terms of my own vocation. Pentecost is always my spiritual anniversary of ordination. And so I like to summarize things very briefly in how many years I've been ordained. And since we've got donuts over there, I thought the idea of 3 dozen makes sense. 36 years as a priest, I celebrate. And in that discernment of my vocation, it's a long process. Looking at the vocation, what it calls for, the skills that you're supposed to possess, requiring of those skills in the seminary study, feedback from others who see you in action, but most importantly, prayer. As you bring the question about, is this what the Lord wants me to do with my life? Does He want me to make this kind of commitment? To choose to be single for the sake of the kingdom of heaven? Choose to take on the responsibilities of being a priest with all that goes with it, and then choose eventually to be a pastor with all the responsibility that goes with it. As best you can as a young man, you kind of pray about those things and talk about them and learn about them. And with the feedback of others, they help you to discern the movement of the Holy Spirit in your life. Today is a popular phrase used by seminarians when they choose to leave the seminary. They discern out. In other words, they saw in their hearts that movement towards a different kind of vocation than the one that they were in the seminary. So the Holy Spirit continues to work. He worked in my life. He continues to work so. And sometimes I see the Holy Spirit working through very practical things. Sometimes there's a prompting that comes just because of something somebody says, or maybe a letter that I got. In some way, shape, or form, that was how many of my assignments happened as a result of very simple, practical things. As an example, when I was asked to go to Elgin, Monsignor Flynn called me up and he says, "Did you get your personnel board letter?" And I looked at the phone and I said, "Yeah, I've been here 1 year. Why are you calling?" And he said, "Well, Elgin is open. I thought you might be interested in going there and working for the school, working with the school there. I'd like to see you do that." And I said, "Well, whatever the bishop wants, I'll go do." And that was the end of the conversation. About a week later, I got a phone call from the personnel board saying, "We'd like to have you consider going to Elgin." And I said, "I would consider going to Elgin if that's what the bishop wants me to do." So I put it on his back, basically, to make the decision for me. I wasn't ready to really make a jump like that. I thought we'd already had this kind of discernment process that's already gone on. And about 2 hours later, I got a phone call from the same guy on the personnel board. He says, "The bishop wishes you well in Elgin." So that's how the Holy Spirit works also, very, very practical. I'll end with a prayer that's for our appeal as you get ready to go over to the gym to make your gifts. Dear Heavenly Father, we are the beneficiaries of a great gift, the gift of our parish. It is here that we find the guidance to live out our lives in accordance with our Catholic faith. It is here that we receive the strength to overcome all the obstacles to our faith. It is here that we receive the comfort in times of pain and sorrow. It is here we experience the grace received in the sacraments. It is here that we are led to act with mercy and service towards others. Help us work together as a team to care for this parish so that it can continue to do what it is called to do, to be a place where we encounter Jesus and are formed to be disciples, so that from here we can go forth to act with mercy as one parish, one church. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.